Right, crypto legends, how is everybody doing today? Let's analyze the situation here all together. For the price of Bitcoin, we'll be taking a look at the 𝗬XY, guys. 𝗬XY looking very interesting where we currently at the moment, guys. We are going to analyze that market right away. The dollar index, how is everybody doing? Make sure to destroy that like button. Yesterday's live stream was absolutely epic. We got over 700 likes on yesterday's live, so thank you very much for the support, everybody. I'm going to go through the comment section first of all. Let's keep it nice and chilled. Let's put a little bit of background music if you wish, just a little bit, and we're going to go through right away here with the comment section. Okay, no rush, no major rush. There is some higher time frame emergency live stream, guys, based on higher time frames, just to realize where we're currently at. Okay, I want to let you know that I sold another half a Bitcoin here at these levels, just at $50,000 exactly. If we were to go higher, then it is what it is. Then, you know, obviously there's still a large amount of Bitcoin in the portfolio, but it's a zone where I'm comfortable taking profits, guys. And I'm going to explain why right away. We'll be going through some possible trading setups as well that could happen here in the next 24 hours. We're going to talk about some major levels, of course, pure technical analysis here on the live stream, educational content. I'm going to explain here a couple of day trade scalp setups that I got in here during today, basically in a long and a short position here on Bybit. I'm going to explain these nice little day trade scenarios. Okay, in a long, I'm currently hedging here in a small position. I'll explain this in today's video update. Why did I enter? Where was my stop loss? Why did I take profit? Why did I enter here a long position? This will be explained. And remember, if you are interested, you need to be interested, of course, if you are trading Bitcoin, to use Bybit. That is the #1 crypto trading platform, guys. You have the best deal down below. It is my #1 crypto platform here, Bybit. Of course, 𝗬Xi is also great. They've got the lowest fees right now, and you get exclusive bonus only with the link down below. So make sure to click that link down below to sign up here for these exchanges where I trade Bitcoin. Not many altcoins. I'm not much of an altcoin trader, to be honest. If there's only a clear opportunity, sometimes Ethereum, but mainly Bitcoin. Bitcoin's my #1 for crypto trading. So let me go continue here with, yes, it is an emergency, Felipe. It is an emergency. It is. It's not a instant emergency. It's an emergency to realize here the higher time frame zones on where we at, and I'm going to explain right away. So you're in a schlong. Yes, I'm in a schlong. I'm not much of a swing trader, so I like to get into several different trades, scalps, day trades inside of the day. It might be 2 trades, it might be 8 trades, right? But I look to get into these small little ranges where the levels are really respecting, and I'm going to explain exactly how and why. Okay, just for pure education, guys. At the end of the day, you are the one that needs to get into the trading, right? If you are following Signal's channel, looking at different, places, you are the one that needs to take responsibility on your trading. And this is why you are here, because you are here for education. Andy, explain me why this was a good short position. Explain to me, why was this a good long? What were you looking at? What are the indicators, tools, Fibonacci that you were looking at here to take that decision? And where was your stop loss? How are you managing your risk? Where are you taking profit, and why? All of this is going to be explained in detail, of course, in this live stream on those small little trades, okay, inside of this zone, right? We need to explain those setups. Now, let me go quickly through the comment section, say hello here to the community. Let me get these levels out of the chart here. We're going to start with a clean chart right over here, okay? Nothing on the chart. Then we get some levels here and explain them. Obviously, looking at the higher time frame and the 𝗬XY, guys. I want to explain a little bit the 𝗬XY today, and I'm going to explain it here with the price of Bitcoin. In the orange, of course, we got the Bitcoin price. In the candlesticks, we have the 𝗬XY. Why is 𝗬XY so important when we're considering, Bitcoin, right, or stocks? That will be explained right away, okay? Also on this live stream, it is an emergency, guys, just so you realize where we at here on the higher time frames. So sell everything. Sell everything. I can never sell all of my Bitcoin. That is a fact. Even though if we go to 100K, I will never sell all of my Bitcoin. When I sold Bitcoin here at the $54,000 range. This is where I sold 25% of all of my cryptocurrencies except for Chainlink. And that was purely based on a distribution right there happening, right? We were reading the chart, massive parabolic move, you know, and you never sell everything, you know. I would have sold 100% and would have bought 100% down here, but you never know where the exact bottom is or the exact top is. So it's just all about taking some profits off the table. So if I've been buying here in this zone, Bitcoin during, you know, 2022 and part of 2023, I'm happy to take a bit of profits here, right? It is a long-term investment, but take some profits, have a bit of more cash on the sidelines, right? If you can sell a bit more Bitcoin, have a bit more cash. You know, on the way up is when we want to start taking profits. Are we going to hit all-time high in the coming weeks, guys? Realistically, I mean, we are in a, you know, we're kind of starting a parabolic run, right? This looks pretty insane. This does look pretty insane. It's getting a bit parabolic at the moment. So could we shoot up to all-time high in a matter of a few weeks? I don't think that is likely to happen, you know, but we live in some times that are just really different. There is massive FOMO. You know, the last 3 days, 1.44 billion new funds in the last 3 days from ETFs. This is huge. This is like billions of dollars coming every few days. Bang, bang, bang. Market cap is just about to hit $1 trillion of Bitcoin, okay? Market cap on the verge of hitting $1 trillion. Now, this happened, of course, back in 2021. We're just about to hit it. If this continues, then obviously we would be looking to hit that 1 trillion market cap. But, however, we need to take a look at, you know, where we're currently at. How is this price action moving? You know, it does just not look right, okay? And I'm aware of the price moving to higher levels, but where we currently at is very disturbing. And we're taking into consideration the DXY legends, okay? I'm going to explain that right away. Evening, Martin. Let me go through the comment section because I love my community. The community is the best. Yesterday, I felt so supported on the live stream. We were at 250 likes. And I said to the people, hey, come on, smash up the like button. We're not getting too much likes. It shoot up to 500 likes in like 1 minute. It was absolutely insane, guys. So really proud. And I'm here purely to educate here with content and, you know, basically analyzing the market with you guys, right? So you can learn very, very fast. Carl said to short Bitcoin. Well, I'm going to say he's probably right. This is not a bad level to consider short. Of course, Carl is more swing trading, right? He has trades open from very low levels, and he'll probably start shorting here and have them open. More of a day trader. Look for those scalp day trades inside of zones. But yeah, would consider thinking that this range is possibly a good swing short position. Okay. Now, however you want to manage your risk, then that is up to you, of course. But yeah, it would make sense for this zone to be a shorting zone, right? And I'll explain that right away. So, Bloody, how are you doing? Redda, Sherry, thanks for all the support of the followers. Sherry, thank you very much for joining. Dippin, how are you, my man? Strong follower for a long time. Fonz, short, Noel, Andy, what medium risk altcoin do I get into? Keep thinking I have missed out. There is a bunch of them, okay? I'm gonna, you know, no financial advice. I have a bunch of altcoins in my portfolio. Umbrella is an oracle that is extremely low cap, and the team is insane. They got big partnerships, and I think it's going to do absolutely insane. And that is my personal opinion. We got Saito, we got Unibright. Unibright, if you look at Unibright, it seems like it's dead, but these guys are working, you know, behind the scenes. It's gone down massively. This all-time high from this one was almost $4. It's currently trading at 6 cents. This just might, you know, these are levels that, you know, if you believe in a project, I believe in this one. I think this one could do very, very well. It's, you know, it's basically enterprise, basically blockchain for businesses, so they can start integrating blockchain, and it's pretty insane. Anyway, you do your own research, okay? I like Unibright. I got some Unibright. I got some Umbrella. I got some Saito. I got some Chainlink, obviously. A lot of Chainlink. You know, several different ones. Gaming, I do have UFO. I do have Illuvium. I added to my portfolio. Just add it. You always need to have a few altcoins because they're the ones that could, you know, or basically not do much, or basically do a lot, right? And then you can make insane gains once the bull market starts. Just a couple of my altcoins that I have in my portfolio. Do your own research. I am happy for these altcoins to go to zero. I do not live out of my portfolio. Obviously, you know, having Bitcoin and Ethereum is more importantly, and Chainlink, but I do not live out of my portfolio. Some of them can go to zero. I don't care. They're just there sitting around to see what happens in the coming years, right? If you believe in a project. So, I mean, this is me, obviously. And I don't want to think, okay, Andy talked about Unibright, then, you know, I'm going to buy, you know, $10,000 worth of Unibright. For me, this is buying levels. Once it starts pumping, I'm not interested in buying. I'm interested in buying when it's bleeding and it's going sideways. And, you know, that obviously that makes sense, right? Long, says Vincent. Yeah, long Bitcoin. There was actually a pretty nice long position right away. We will explain that in the next coming minutes. Long or short, I feel like choosing a shirt. Profit. Hello, Felipe. How are you doing? Ben, Skywalker. I can see Tortuga is around as well. Andy likes. Let's give him some more likes, says Trav the White. Thank you very much for the insane support. You guys are absolutely awesome. Love to see all of those likes yesterday. Jonathan, yes, it was crazy. I really felt supported. I really felt, you know, like a community, like a family. You guys are awesome. Andy, eres el capitán de mi cripto barco, says Pablo. I'm the captain of his crypto boat, he says in Spanish. Let's go right away. Bitcoin holding better than the S&P. You know what? I actually did not take a look at the S&P today. Let's take a quick look at the ES right away. Because did it get, yeah, it got a pretty decent pullback. We did have some news today. We had inflation data coming out and it was slightly lower. No, the forecast was 3.1. So yeah, it was, you know, inflation is going down a little bit. You know, the previous 3.4. You know, and actual 3.1, that's inflation. Core inflation has slightly gone higher. But overall, inflation rate going down slightly, okay, 0.3. Making the dollar a little bit strong. Making the dollar a little bit strong. When we do take a look at the DXY here on the candlesticks, it's getting a move to the upside. And a bullish DXY, a bullish dollar index, means that, you know, dollar is gaining strength. People like holding dollars when it's going down in inflation, when it's gaining value compared to other currencies. People like holding dollars, right? Hey, dollar's strong, it's staying strong, it's going up. You know, I want to have some more dollars in my wallet. So it totally makes sense that obviously stocks go down when the DXY dollar index goes up, right? People want to sell those stocks that are hitting all-time high, right? You know, this has just gone absolutely bananas during the last few months, and it's just breaking all-time high during the last couple of weeks every single day almost. So it makes sense. You know, holding stocks, people will want to take some profits if they have a strong dollar. So, and that obviously is in confluence with what Bitcoin is, where Bitcoin is at the moment, you know, at a big major resistance zone that will be explained right away. It will bounce back tomorrow. Yeah, no doubt. It could bounce back tomorrow. We could go to $51,000, $52,000. Yes, that is very much a possibility. And we're going to talk it though, but it's also a range where it could top out. And that will be explained right away, also looking at the dollar. So let's do the technical analysis. Gone through the comment section here a little bit. Hello, everybody. Hope you enjoy this live stream. Let's go right away here through the content. So I think most of you understand, right, where we're currently at, right? We've had a major rally up over here, you know, and we are basically at the 61865 Fibonacci, right? People are thinking that we are breaking above 618, but 618 and 65 is a zone where a lot of the times, you know, so a lot of assets top out, right? We did see this back in 2021 from the all-time high to the low of the bear market. We can see it topped out here at the 618 Fibonacci. Very, very powerful to Fibonacci, okay, on the charts. So we are there right now. The possibility here still is available for the ABC corrective move. Like we were mentioning also with Fibonacci timing is very, very important when you do take a look at the low to the high, because this was an ABC flat. We can see here once you hit that 1-to-1, you started moving to the upside. And once you get this here to the low right there, we kind of just about crossing the 1-to-1 extension, okay? So we have been pumping like crazy. The measurement of the waves usually are very similar in timing. They just don't go up forever and, you know, cross the timing. Very rarely, okay? Obviously in the third wave, you could possibly see that momentum. In a massive bull run, you can see a huge momentum. Are we in that wave right now? Are we in that wave that it's just going to go to all-time high? I strongly believe it's not, okay? Strongly believe it's not. Could it be a possibility? Obviously, yes. But unlikely, in my opinion. You might think, yes, but this time is different. Come on, we are seeing massive inflows, right, from ETF. These are big players. These are players that they ain't buying a few million of Bitcoin. They are buying hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. And of course, that is, you know, obviously bringing the price to much higher levels. But the charts are the charts, guys, and we need to understand the charts. So do you think that 51,700 will get a major rejection? 51,700. I mean, I do have a level here at, it's basically the weekly daily level, which is sitting at 50,800 approximately, right? That is a major level right there where we have weekly, several daily levels. We're still in the channel of the 61865 Fibonacci, you know, and this does not look right. When you break a high like this and you choppy, if we are choppy tomorrow, after tomorrow, at this $50,000 range, guys, you know, for me, it's going to be looking very toppy. And that is going to be explained with TA as well. It happens every bull market. What happens every bull market? Andy, te mando un besote desde Mar Cantábrico. Dixon, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Let's go right away, okay, as well. You know, we know that we are at 61865. Let's talk about this right over here. Let's talk about this kind of price action. Yes, somebody might come out and say, yeah, we are forming massive bearish RSI divergence, right? Where we are forming higher highs and RSI is making lower highs. That is also an indicator. Volume is decreasing, and matter of fact, the highest volume spike was in the drop, meaning that this is likely to be a relief rally. This is likely not to have major power to go to $56,000, right, in the coming days. Just purely based on volume is decreasing as we're breaking high. When you break a high, you want to see volume breaking out. You want to see big move breaking to the upside. This is really not the case at the moment. And one of the charts that I want to explain, most importantly, to understand higher time frame, guys, and you might think the DXY hasn't got negative correlation against Bitcoin anymore. This was something from the past and it's not going to happen. It's not instant negative correlation. It can take weeks. If the DXY dollar index does gain momentum still during the next coming days, Bitcoin will get affected. Stock market got affected from this major pump that we had on the DXY today, and obviously stock got affected. Bitcoin's holding quite nicely. However, if we were to continue, then obviously I would expect, you know, Bitcoin to get a major corrective move. Now, what is interesting here with the DXY, let me just go here with the DXY on this chart. You know, we are hitting also a major lower high resistance trend line, right? From lower highs right there. You can see that we are hitting that trend line at the moment, and it could get heavily rejected. If that were to be the case, then Bitcoin has a lot of steam still to the upside. Dollar index loses this, you know, resistance breakout and starts moving down. That is obviously a good sign for Bitcoin to continue to the upside. However, if we do start breaking through, you know, it's just not going to be looking too great. You know, DXY dollar index gaining massive strength. When we do take a look here at the dollar index, with the levels, okay, this was mentioned here during the last few days, very likely to get that bounce on the DXY here from this low based on, you know, value area low of this trading zone, based on the breakout of this structure, and likely to form a higher low right over there. We got above the point of control from the last 2 years and managed to flip it as support just today. You can see here that red horizontal line is the point of control from the last 2 years. So we broke out of it the first week of February and managed to hold our support. Once the inflation data came out today, it had a quick wick to the downside and then absolutely rocket. The S&P 500 is getting affected here with a strong dollar. A strong dollar means, you know, people want to sell stocks and hold the dollar. It's strong. So when we take a look here, okay, during the last few years, in the orange, we do have Bitcoin, right? We're looking at, you know, 5 years of price action. In the candlesticks, we have the DXY. And it's pretty obvious. We'll just go from March of 2020 when we had the C19 crash, where we had massive pump on the dollar index. Does anybody know how to explain why the dollar index did get a major rise when we had the C19 crash? What happens in recessions? What happens when there is a major depression, recession, or there's fear worldwide? People want to have cash. People want to have cash because they are worried about losing their jobs. They're worried about the things. So they want to sell everything. They want to have cash. Oh my goodness, the next 6 months, you know, might be difficult. I want to have some cash. As there is a lot of demand for cash, we have a massive rise on the DXY, meaning that most of stocks, assets, crypto, risky stocks, you know, risky investments do get a major drop. What happened here, of course? Well, obviously, yes, everything was in lockdown. Everything was stopped. Everything, you know, was stopped. And obviously the government needed to do something. What was that solution? Easy solution, obviously. Start printing money like crazy. We need to bail out. We need to help the, you know, the people, you know, start printing money. We start giving some checks so people can basically buy food, right? If they cannot work, if we're in lockdown. So obviously that inflation brings, you know, massive devaluation on the dollar. Dollar has massive devaluation, meaning that risky assets are better to hold than having a dollar that has a 10% inflation, right? Like back in, you know, late 2020. So obviously we have a major bull run. Major bull run as the DXY starts moving down. We have Bitcoin absolutely rocketing. What we add here is the DXY bottoming out. This was back in March, April of 2021. DXY started to bottom out. This is basically where Bitcoin topped out. That is when the DXY started a rally. And you might think, hey, the DXY was pumping like crazy here. How come we got this major pump to hit all-time high? Well, this is what is called a major relief rally, a major dead cat bounce, a major relief rally to trick everybody that everything's going to be bullish again. But obviously it was a great event for the big money to get out from the market, right? So it's basically a trick. As the DXY was moving here to the upside, well, obviously Bitcoin double topped, right? It was unsustainable to have a bullish dollar index, right? Bullish dollar index and Bitcoin to still continue pumping, right? So people don't want to hold Bitcoin if dollar is extremely strong. So obviously back in 2022, we had a huge major bear market. Now, when we do see here, the major rally of the DXY topping out in October, November of 2022, that is when we had the bottom for Bitcoin. The bottom was formed in November of 2022. So, yeah, basically, when the DXY topped out and we had a major drop here, you know, Bitcoin started, it was the bottom for Bitcoin. Bitcoin started pumping like crazy during 2023. Now, when we zoom in here on what has been happening during the last few months, right? We're counting a bit of 2023, 2022. You know, what is interesting about this chart, right? Even more locally, we can see a local bottom right there on the DXY. This was back in April of 2023. We had a local top on Bitcoin. DXY started pumping back in May of 2023. That's when Bitcoin started dropping. DXY topping out here in June of 2023. That's when Bitcoin bottomed. DXY down, Bitcoin up. What happened here as well? In July of 2023, we got the dollar index bottoming out. That is when the price of Bitcoin topped out. Obviously, August was a major rally. August, September, major rally on the DXY. That is August when we had the major corrective move, right? This was a nice corrective move of about $4,000 or $5,000 that happened for Bitcoin back in the summer of 2023 in August. So you can see the negative correlation right there. When the DXY was topping out here back in October of 2023, this is when Bitcoin started to rally like crazy. And when we zoom in here more locally to what has been happening during the last few months, you might think, wow, you know, that is massive negative correlation, right? Top, bottom, you know, wow. There's something different about what's happening right now. Let's just take a look at the last few months. We can see here where the DXY bottomed back in December of 2023. This is where the price of Bitcoin started dropping, the second week of January. It got a $10,000 drop when the ETF was approved, while the DXY was getting some strong momentum. Now, what is happening right now? You can see here how it lags behind, okay? Look at December. Look at Bitcoin. DXY was pumping. To January, right? And still continue to do so. Bitcoin was also pumping the second week of January, where it topped out on the second week. So they were pumping together. What is happening? Okay, of course it got a major pullback, right? DXY continuing to the upside. What is happening right now? DXY is pumping and probably is going to continue pumping during the next coming weeks, especially if we break that lower high resistance. We're just tapping it right now. We might get a bit of a reaction. We might get one more leg up for Bitcoin, very possible above $51,000 potentially. But this doesn't mean it's an instant correlation. It's not an instant correlation, okay? There's no instant correlation. As you can see here, in December, we were pumping, January, and Bitcoin was also pumping, okay? Same dates. They were pumping together for 1-2 weeks till actually the DXY, you know, Bitcoin got a major drop, right? As DXY was continuing to have an uptrend. You will not see for a long time the DXY. You will not see the DXY pumping for 2 months and Bitcoin pumping as well 2 months with the DXY. This correlation you will not see. You will not see this correlation of DXY continuing to pump for several weeks and Bitcoin following with the dollar index. It's either you hold dollars or you hold risky assets. What do you want? Yeah, you can hold both. I hold both, obviously, but there's always a favorite one, you know, in these times. So just that brief explanation. DXY continues pumping. We are expecting a possible topping point for Bitcoin. I know it's difficult to understand right now where, you know, price is exploding and price could still pump another $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. No doubt it can still happen, but just to be warned that a correlation with DXY and Bitcoin for more than 2-3 months is just not possible. We have never seen that before during the last 5 years. Okay, so it's just something to take into consideration, legends. Okay, so I want, obviously, you know, the investors to be protected, right? I know it's FOMO moment. I know institutions are absolutely having insane inflows and we're getting extremely bullish, but this is probably just going to be for, the correction, the corrective move is probably just going to be, you know, till the halving or maybe till after the halving. But it's going to obviously be a great opportunity if we do get that correction for Bitcoin. Dollar will get rugged. Yeah, no doubt that the path for the dollar in the future is bad. Okay, when we do zoom out on the dollar index, on the much higher time frames, you know, it's just not looking good. It ain't looking good for the dollar, right? This is the overall, looking at over 50 years of price action from the dollar. And obviously the dollar is in a major large macro decade downtrend. I'm not saying that the dollar index is gonna absolutely rocket here, but I do see it pumping during the next coming weeks potentially to claim the highs that was created here back in October of 2022, and possibly double topping, right? Maybe entering into 2025 or so. So it's just something to take into consideration. No doubt that the dollar index obviously will top out, and obviously, you know, by 2030 the dollar is you know, with inflation, you know, it's going to get rugged, like somebody said here in the comment section. But we are focusing locally what is happening, and obviously we need to take it into consideration. Now let's go right away here through the price of Bitcoin. Hopefully you did like that, you know, explanation on the dollar and Bitcoin, guys. Proven with data, proven with the past that, you know, it is not possible to have a bullish dollar and bullish Bitcoin and bullish stocks. It just doesn't happen. It does not happen, okay? It can happen for a few weeks, like I explained here with the latest move, for example, right? Where you have a bullish dollar index and a bullish Bitcoin for a couple of weeks, right? They can go by the hand for a few weeks. However, if the dollar trend continues to the upside, you know, there will be a moment where it's just going to get a nasty corrective move. Anyway, yes, sir, Mark Dirch. I did not tell my moderators I was going live. This is an emergency live stream, so I haven't got time to, you know, to say to my moderators or my mother or anybody. It was an emergency live stream just to talk about this higher time frame scenario and what we're looking at here for Bitcoin on the larger time frames. Let me go quickly through the comment section, say hello to the rest of the community that is joining. Then we'll be going through lower time frame technical analysis here. What am I expecting? If you want, I'll be going through the trading setups, of course, that I got in today. Some nice little scalp day trade scenarios, just a few $100s worth of profit here on Bybit. But I'm going to briefly explain, you know, those scenarios. Why was this a short? Okay, why was this a long position right there? I think if you have followed the channel, you probably know. And if you're not trading on Bybit, it's the #1 crypto trading platform. If you want the exclusive bonuses, you have the link down below in the description, okay? Exclusive bonuses only using my link. You also get a 20% fee reduction. Bybit for me, #1. If you cannot trade on Bybit, 𝗬Xi is a great alternative where you do have $20,000 worth of bonus. They have the lowest fees at the moment, and just with an email and a password, you can sign up. Now, diving in here through the scenarios for Bitcoin. You know, let's just go here on lower time frame, because then we'll zoom out. And try and analyze this situation right now where we're currently at, right? We'll analyze a little bit of a higher time frame, the possible scenarios with this wave up. You know, is it topping out? Is this just a third wave? We're in a fourth wave. We're going to get a massive explosive fifth wave, right, in the next coming days. We'll be talking about that in just 1 second, but I'm going to go through a little bit of my setups that I got in today. Now, with these setups, okay, we're looking at CVD divergence. CVD divergence is one of the kind of only indicators that I do use here to realize, you know, if Bitcoin's, you know, getting overbought, okay, by retail or oversold. We'll go through that in just 1 second. But analyzing this range over here, you know, it's keeping it simple, right? You created a swing failure pattern. I mean, this happened at 3 o'clock in the morning Central European time. You know, this would have been a short position to get in, no doubt, as you get that rejection. Always a good short, you know, when you're hitting a top here from a major uptrend, right? You got a top, you got a consolidation, bang, swing failure pattern. It's always good to trigger a short position as you reject. This happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. Could not trade that. So what was happening right over here? We were still forming pretty significant higher lows, right, during today. Major higher lows, easy support, right? Trend line, easy technical analysis, nothing too complicated. We got a trend line with higher lows that has been respected here a few times. Of course, this move was broken. It created a local swing failure pattern, which was an acceptable long position. This was mentioned in the Legends trading community that, you know, obviously I preferred lower levels, but it was an acceptable one because we're trading the range. And if we get a trade setup here, then perfect, we take it. If we get a setup right there, perfect as well, we take it, right? If we just blast through. Now, what was happening here locally, looking at the CVD, was very, very interesting. there was a massive fight in between BITFLEX, which was forming insane bearish CVD divergence. You had BITFLEX players, right, going extremely long at this level, right? A lot of people on BITFLEX were longing. And, you know, what was happening, of course, that those longs were not managing to break above the last lower high, you know, forming lower highs itself with this consolidation. This was a move to say, right, this is insane. You know, there's too many people long in here on BITFLEX. They're getting absorbed. This is probably going to come back down and test this low, which it did. You know, that was, you know, my trade here was mainly purely by CVD divergence, which was bearish on BITFLEX. Got a lot of people longing right there, you know, massive higher highs. This is getting absorbed by larger players, likely going to take that low at some point. And also what we were looking at here, looking at the BITFLEX chart, is we were hitting that VWAP. Okay, VWAP obviously is a great level for scalpers and day traders, where it usually gets some significant support and resistance when you separate from it. Okay, so when you get a major separation from the VWAP and you come close to it like a magnet, then obviously, you know, for me here, it was, you know, a very likely rejection point. And I was just aiming for the lows. I was just aiming for the lows here. Now, you can see here, you're adding a few factors. Okay, we had some news event today, which was the inflation data. And, you know, you had to be very cautious with your trading because you get a massive wick down, a massive wick up. Okay, there's no high leverage trading during the news because you're just going to get wicked out probably, or you get profits or you get wicked out, right? It's a bit of a gamble. So I'm not interested in trading news because I know what happens. You just get a big fest of wicks. Okay, and I'm just, we don't want to trade that. When we do take a look here at the higher low support trend line, right? This is obviously, we do not want to trade just based on trend lines. It's just to indicate, you know, when you're losing the momentum, right, of higher lows. So we broke down here. Now, when we did break down, we came back up and retested, we back tested that higher low support trend line with the VWAP, the moving average, the VWAP, right? The volume weighted average price. As we were forming incredibly massive bearish CVD divergence. BITFLEX was going absolutely crazy. People were longing, you know, thinking that this was a bullish pennant, or I don't know, but they were longing like crazy at this point. And you were forming insane higher highs, and you were forming insane lower highs right there on the price action. This was telling me one thing, you know, this is actually a pretty nice, good short position to take that low. Now, looking at the setup, you know, based on the higher low support trend line, it was enough to have your stop loss above the trend line. Because if you do get back above the VWAP and the trend line, you know, this is obviously looking pretty bullish to claim this high and possibly, you know, move to higher levels. So your stop loss is enough to have it above the VWAP and the support, the trend line basically, right? So, you know, getting that stop loss here, managing risk very, very well was obviously enough, okay, to have it above the trend line. Because if you get above VWAP and trend line, then you're continuing the momentum to the upside. You don't want to hold a trade here when you're getting above this zone. It just doesn't make sense. You don't want to hold it. You want to get stopped out, you know, look for the next trade setup. So that was basically one of the setups here that was, you know, that I looked at here. It was difficult to take, okay? It was difficult to take because when you don't add all of this, and you add the fixed volume profile, you say, oh, you know, hey, we're still inside of the volume range, okay, from the last 24 hours. You know, we're above the point of control. You might think, you know, hey, it's not an easy zone to actually get into the trade. But if you manage risk very, very well, you can have these attempts, right? Just have relatively tight-ish stop losses. So that was one, obviously. That was one setup that was, you know, pretty nice to detect with the CVD, massive bearish divergence. And, you know, just want to give that explanation, of course. Now, why was this a good long-in setup? You know, I also got into a nice little scalp day trade long position at this level to get the bounce all the way up to basically to see if we were going to back test the highs from the ETF news, right? This level is important because this is going to guide us in the next coming days if we are going to get that choppiness and we are going to start trading beneath this level. It's going to be a bit of a guidance here to recognize, you know, if we are going to see some massive bearish CVD divergence, right? Massive higher highs on the CVD, people longing like crazy, thinking that this is a corrective move. And if we do get those higher highs on the CVD, for me, this will be a trigger point to say, guys, you know, this is likely to roll down. You know, this ain't going to be a bullish pennant or anything. If we do get those massive bullish CVD divergence, right, in the coming days, we're just going to have to see how the price action does develop during the coming days. So let's talk about the next setup here that I did get on Bybit, okay? And we'll go right away through that right now. It was purely based on 61878 Fibonacci. When we do take a look at the CVD, we were not forming, we're basically not reaching even here lower lows. It would be nice to get some bullish CVD divergence, but we did not. We did not get bullish CVD divergence. So CVD divergence was not, you know, helping at this level to take this long. But this long was purely based on, you know, you have higher lows and higher highs right there. So you got higher lows and higher highs right there. You got a massive consolidation here. And you got some peak highs. I mean, these peak highs didn't have massive amount of volume, but they did have, you know, I was looking at this peak high and also this one. You know, they do have some spikes in volume. You know, this is a resistance zone. It's been a resistance. It's been a proven resistance zone. It's been a proven resistance zone. So you got one instant bounce really here. You got a major wick down. You got a major wick down, okay? And this is very, very hard. Usually I like to see a little bit of a range, okay, and look for a double bottom. Double bottoms are the ones that are going to give you a high probability trading setup with very good risk management. And this, you know, this is why these falling knives are very, 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 very difficult to catch. But when we do take a look at Fibonacci, I was eyeing the 618, and of course the next level is the 78. You know, 618 was pierced down, right? Got an instant bounce. It was an instant bounce here of about $500-600 from the 78. It was just a bit too wicky, right? A bit of too much selling pressure and volume. However, this is the time to remain patient. Hey, if you get a V-shaped recovery, you did miss the long, then it is what it is, right? But remaining patient is the absolute key thing here for a trading setup. So once you get that move down, and sometimes, and many times, you get a large move down with high volume, you get a dead cat bounce, instant reaction bounce, okay? This is why it's dangerous to short a major falling knife, and it's also dangerous to long because it could continue falling to the downside. So you remain patient, very much knowing that dead cat bounce has a high chance to come back down and test the lows. You come back down and test the lows and you fail to break out, that gives you a possible long trigger. This is basically what happened right over here. This is purely based what happened right over here. You had a local swing failure pattern. You are testing the low from the drop with high volume, and that is what triggered here my long position. Knowing that this is a double bottom, knowing that we are maintaining here the resistance flip support, knowing that 7-8 is holding, knowing that we are in a local massive uptrend, not local on higher time frames. We need to understand that the market is still bullish. The trend is still bullish. And if we do get a long opportunity chance, we will get in, especially when you find a consolidation and you're forming a double bottom. And that is purely based here on the short setup and the long setup that I got in this range. Now, we'll be talking about some major opportunities that could happen. We're going to talk about some levels right now, some things that we want to take into consideration, because I do see a good level for a possible trading setup. Okay, this is purely education, guys. This is purely education, all right, on live stream. No financial advice, education. We can talk about some trading plans and good risk management, but it's education only. But anyway, that was the explanation on why I got into a nice little scalp short and a scalp long, okay, on Bybit. Remember, you do have the best bonus down below if you want to trade on Bybit. Make sure to sign up with the link down below to get the exclusive bonus of 20% fee reduction, 30K bonus. You got 𝗖𝗺𝗺𝘶𝐺 here as an alternative here on the second link. You know where I take my profits, guys. The profits are taken to the K app. This is a great application where you can switch your Bitcoin US dollar tether to euros. All right. For people in the European Union, you can download the K app. Okay. You can use the K app web. Okay. And to basically withdraw profits and change it to euro. If you're happy to not put it in your bank account, for example, and basically change it into euro with the K app. Also, you have your own IBAN number. So it is basically a bank account here with the cash tab. You have your own IBAN, guys. For me, it's the fastest on-off ramp here for crypto and fiat, basically. They're also coming out with a debit card. If you want to check out K app here to withdraw profits, right? It's a great option to use, okay? You got the third link right there if you want to start using K app to basically withdraw this. The fees are incredibly low, and it works extremely well, okay? Very, very fast transactions, and also commissions are extremely low if you want to take some profits. So let's continue here with the analysis with what are the next major levels? What is my next trading plan here, and how I'm going to develop my plan, right? Because maybe you might think, oh, I want to get into a trade right now. Well, no, I'm really not that interested on a trade right now where we're currently at. We're kind of trying to hold the support level, the resistance zone from the highs here created on the ETF news, right? We got that high right there. We're kind of struggling right there. This for me is not a successful failed auction, and I'm very much aware that we could hit the highs once more, okay? We got a major level at $50,800. There's a major level. Would be nice to claim that high again. Will we hit it or not? We're going to have to remain patient, but if we are hitting it right there, this is a great zone for a double top as well. Based on the weekly daily level at 50,800, based on the highs right there, right? We like double tops. It could massively be a double top if we were to reach there in the next coming days. Now that level is also in confluence with the 1.618 here, okay? From the movement to the upside that we had, okay, the last week of January, to the low of the B wave, right? Consider it's right there from this triangle setup. And that one-to-one extension is sitting slightly above that weekly daily level. Major level. Would be nice to see if we are going to hit that in the coming days, because it would, for me, it would be interesting to look for short positions. Obviously, we're longing, guys. The trend is bullish. We are looking for longs as well. Higher lows. Here we go. Higher probability is following the trend, obviously. But talking about higher time frames, this is a major level of resistance. What more locally do we find here for Bitcoin? We will drop down very fast, faster than we went up, says Chris. Yeah, I mean, I also think that we're going to get a correction. We could get one more leg up, very likely, but it is time. It is time for a cool off, okay? When people get extremely bullish and we get the bullish momentum. Support at $48,000. Yes, we got some support there. Anyway, shout out to 𝗬vault. 𝗬vault, how are you doing, my man? 𝗬vault is also a coach in the Legends trading community. We did a live stream, and we also, get into a call together, and he actually pointed out to me this major level, of course, that I didn't have on the chart, and also talking about the 1.618 extension here from this movement, okay? So, yeah, high confluence. Shout out to you, 𝗬vault. 𝗬vault is also, he also has a YouTube channel. He posts everyday content, education, and he's also a coach in the Legends trading community, looking for those setups and opportunities, guys. If you want to join the Legends, make sure to do so. I mean, we do provide every single day education, looking at levels, how we can look for our trading setups, okay? Pure education, so you can actually skyrocket in your trading career. So anyway, let's continue here with, major resistance. We got a major drop here with a bit of volume. We got a bit of volume here. We got some significant volume. A level of resistance, right? Just say that the price action does continue to the upside. And this is what I like. I like ranges. I like when the price pumps and it dumps. That's for me a an open door, right, of opportunities, right? This is, you know, when we are massively trending to the upside, then yeah, you know, trend is your friend, higher lows, you're looking for continuation, and we could have hit the highs, no doubt. But when you get a pump and you get a dump, you're starting a range. You are starting a range, and range trading is where I can make gains. So, you know, for me, it's pretty simple right now. We've got a nice little range here at this zone. This nice little range is going to give me some levels. It's going to give me some levels. And when I do take a look at the high, I mean, this is has to be one of my favorite zones. It's not much in confluence. 618 Fibonacci is with the value area low from this small little trading zone, right? When we do take a look at the volume profiles, when we do have that massive spike, right, is where we have the massive spike right there, okay? Volume starts right over here, right? Value area low from this range. I was doing yesterday and today. Value area low. There's a big wall of volume here that we need to break through. As we are in a macro uptrend, you know, I'm not saying that we're not going to break through, but we're likely going to get a reaction, you know, and the trend is up, no doubt. You know, you could form a higher low, get a resistance support flip, okay, and continue to the upside, breaking this level. And that is very likely to happen. It is very likely to happen as we are in a macro bullish trend. We've got massive inflows from ETF, Bitcoin buying, right? But the reactions happen. Price gets reactions at these levels. And just with a move of $100 to $200, I can make gains. So I will be eyeing very carefully here the 618 Fibonacci with the value area low. Very likely to get a reaction, as that is where the volume starts. So no doubt, you know, what could this do is something like this. And then breaks through, right? So it is bullish. We are in bullish macro structure. We could break to the upside. Now, I will possibly get into a short here. And I will know exactly where to take profits at a resistance support flip. I will be taking VWAP into consideration and overall the macro trend, the local trend, sorry. The local trend is forming higher lows and higher highs. This does not mean it's going to reject from this point and come all the way down to the lows, which it could, but we're understanding here the scalping levels. So obviously I would like to see a smaller reaction at this level, but I will be possibly getting into a short position here. I will be taking profits, and I will be possibly getting stopped out at break even. I might jump into a long position if it's a resistance support flip. There will be people shorting possibly this level. They'll be having profits and they'll be getting stopped out in a loss because they're not managing risk and they're not quickly taking their profits. These are small scalping levels. You can scalp short an uptrend, but you need to know how to do it with very good risk. Stop losses where they should be above the high that was just locally created. Be defensive with your stop loss. Take the profits where you need to take them. So just a little overview here, guys. We need to remember that we are in an uptrend, okay? And this was actually the best level to long, no doubt, when we got a local double bottom, right? This was a beautiful level to get into a long position, giving you a high chance here for this relief rally, at least to the 618. And possibly you're going to break through and test the highs again, right? In the next, you know, between today and tomorrow, possibly. Now, pure education content, guys, just giving you a little bit of Bitcoin, bit of levels, a little bit of how I trade, okay? Pure education. You know, there's stuff going on around the world right now, and we have the 9 new Bitcoin ETFs have accumulated 218,000 Bitcoin in just 1 month. A lot of Bitcoin, guys. This is almost 1% of the entire Bitcoin supply, right? In just 1 month. ETFs, okay, have accumulated 1% of the entire Bitcoin supply in 1 month. Will this continue? If this continues at this rate, in 10 months, they are going to have, you know, 10% of the Bitcoin supply, right, on ETFs. You know, very, very bullish macro news, guys. There is massive bullish macro news. We got this guy over here, which I don't know who he is, but he seems like, you know, Peter Thiel's founders fund bought $100 million worth of Bitcoin, right? We're starting to see, you know, people that are, you know, very much, billionaires out there, millionaires and billionaires that are starting to dip their toes and starting to buy some Bitcoin, right? They're buying Bitcoin, and this is just going to follow. This is going to be like a snowball effect where, more and more are just going to buy and buy, right? Which is extremely bullish, obviously. And those corrective moves that happen, if we do get a major corrective crash, it's going to be a great buying opportunity. We also have the inflows, right? 1.44 billion of new funds in just the last 3 days. Okay, Bitcoin ETFs, this is massive. This has been the strongest uptrend that we've had since the ETF approval in the last 3 days. So this has obviously got to do with this major rally that we're having of the last few days. Massive inflows. We have the hash rate, okay, hitting all-time high, extremely parabolic. I mean, this is hash rate just goes up and up. It has its dips sometimes. But yeah, Bitcoin has to be the safest network that there is worldwide right now with the massive, hash rate that it has. It's just insanely secure at the moment because hash rate is just going absolutely bananas, extremely parabolic. But since, it's just been going up always. It has its major dips when Bitcoin goes down and there's selling pressure and the network is not used. But they're just corrections. This just continues to absolutely rocket, giving, Bitcoin one of the most secure networks that there is in the world. Bitcoin carbon footprint plummets 52% in 4 years. So yeah, about Bitcoin mining, it seems like that it doesn't, there's not much carbon emissions. It's going down by the looks of things during the last few years. So maybe Bitcoin mining, there's obviously, supposedly a lot of the Bitcoin mining is used with alternative energy, right? With renewable energies, which is obviously a good thing, right? I don't want to bore you out with all of this, guys, but it's loads of liquidity around 47,600 area, says DeVault. Shout out to you, my man. Absolutely insane analysis. Andy is the range trading master. Yes, yeah. I do get lost on these major massive pumps and massive dumps, but when it's ranging, I'm really good at range trading. It's my niche, right? My niche is scalp day trading the ranges. That's where I can make some pretty significant gains in ranges. When it's like really massive volatility, I like to wait for a range. But anyway, let's go right away here through the liquidity. There is definitely massive liquidity building up here beneath 48,000, 46, 44,000. But yeah, most of the largest liquidity amount is sitting where DeVault is saying, which is at 47,700 here. And also we do have at 46,700. There's lots of liquidity building up here above these higher lows. And I've seen this before. This gets swept up in a matter of hours. In a matter of 1-2 days, can get swept up. Bitcoin crashes are absolutely epic. They happen very, very drastically. They just like, woof, they like sweep out, right? One of the latest ones that we did have here just a few weeks ago was obviously the ETF one, right? A massive whoop move to the downside. And obviously we had the August one in 2023, right? It was just like whoop. This happened in a matter of 24 hours, right? Yeah, well, about 48 hours more. Massive move to the downside, dropping over $5,000, and now obviously volatility is getting more aggressive, right? More aggressive. This was a $10,000 move in about a week or so. But yeah, we want to stay cautious with those moves, guys. And you don't have time for anything, right? When Bitcoin drops, you don't have time to, oh my goodness, am I going to start selling my Bitcoin here? No. You want to start thinking about taking some profits on the way up. Because when it drops, you basically just don't have, you kind of don't have time. I'm not saying that is going to happen, guys, but just something to be aware. We take profits on the way up. Mark Dutch, thank you very much for joining the stream, my man. Sorry for not telling you anything today. Ask him to say derivatives trading. I've been learning. I've been looking at the mirror and saying derivatives. Yeah, I kind of a bit of a stutter on that word. Derivatives, yes, sir. Guys, thank you very much for joining the live stream. Give the man a thumbs up, people. This man gives an incredible TA, pure legend. 𝗕𝗏𝘆, thank you very much for the insane support. 𝗕𝗏𝘆 is also a member in the Legends community and learning very, very much. Thank you, Legends, for joining the live stream. I'm going to wrap it up. Been here for about an hour now. Thank you for joining. Smash up the like button if you've enjoyed the education. We talked about DXY, guys, something to take into consideration. Pure education, as always, teaching the people on how to fish by their own, like 𝗕𝗏𝘆 says, right? Teach them how they can make money, potentially make money, okay? Nothing is guaranteed. Trading is extremely risky. You need to manage your risk. No financial advice. As always, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you, moderators. I will see you in the next one. Mark Dirch, you legend.